Welcome back to historic Lake Placid, New York, set for the championship of men's college hockey at the Division III level, Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert. Let's take a look at the coaches in this one. On the left for Plattsburgh State, Bob Emery with all sorts of Boston College ties, and Tim Coughlin of St. Norbert. As we take a look at the starting goaltenders in this one, we go inside the crease, two very good ones. Brian Hintz will get the call, 22-4 with a goals against average of 2.06, and Kyle Jones for St. Norbert's. The officials in this one, John Bocci, he is one of the referees along with Dan Murphy, and the linesman today, Sean McSweeney. Underway, a national championship is on the line. Should be a lot of fun today from Lake Placid as the puck is played back and over the line. And don't forget, Plattsburgh yesterday falling down 2-0 in their semifinal game and then came back to outscore their opposition, Elmira, by the final count of 5-1 en route to that 6-3 victory. And St. Norbert shutting out Norwich 3-0 in that first of two. That game was yesterday afternoon here at Olympic Center. So great offense, great goaltending on display here. Really sets up for a nice backdrop as it's played back and over the line. Here's Sleep, thrown to the front. Oh, and he was looking for his teammate Mark Belanger. And they can't hook up as it's played right back through center ice. Into the zone it goes. And a chance, glove save. First test for Kyle Jones on a save from Eric Sadum. Let's take a look at that key line for the Cardinals of Plattsburgh State.
Oh, they feel like they've got four lines that can roll pretty well.
Plattsburgh State wearing the red. They'll dump it into the corner. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert as we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Let's take a look at that key line now for St. Norbert, who is a school hailing from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Well, Boyd Wheeler and Belanger, they can interchange on different lines, but when they're together, they're a very good rush line. They get depth in their attack, and Wheeler off that wing really provides a lot of speed. He's a great shooter.
Puck is played in behind the net. Now banging away at it is Mike Bernardi. And the puck will be played out of the corner. Pretty good forecheck on right now for Plattsburgh State as they're sending three players deep, but it's knocked out of the zone and out of the zone it comes. Played around, in behind the net. Skoog tried to set it up, but that's denied. Now the puck moved along, and Plattsburgh State will get it right back to center ice. Here's a break, falling down on the play. Now Phil Farrell will bring it in over the line with a shot. Stopped Kyle Jones. Oh, what a save on a bid from the right faceoff circle. Now back of the line, and this play goes offside, unable to keep Ryan Corey, the Calgary native. But what a save early on, Kyle Jones. He was sharp here.
And Matt, this is what he does. He gives them an opportunity early in games to get themselves on track. Good pull-up and shot. When you look at where Jones is, both of these goalies in this game, you'll notice, like to play a little bit deeper in the crease, whether it be an odd man rush or an even man rush. They don't really play that odd-even rule as goalies used to a little bit a while ago, a few years back, where maybe on an odd man rush you stick back and an even man rush you come out. These guys like to play deep, but they're very good at it.
Sean Overton doing a nice job for St. Norbert. Puck will be sent right back down the length of the ice. And they get a late icing call here, and so the faceoff will come back inside the Plattsburgh State zone. In case you're not all that familiar with Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert, here are their rankings in Division III day. Very impressive on both sides.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoring, obviously a bit of a difference between Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert's, but as we alluded to when we opened up the telecast, the one thing that St. Norbert's does is they rely on their goaltender to be good. The one thing that Plattsburgh has done this year, and the reason they're so good offensively, is their power play has been tremendous, and they live off it.
This one sent right over the top of the net. Brian Hintz that time just let it go, and the puck will roll all the way back in. Yesterday, when St. Norbert took on Norwich, St. Norbert head coach Tim Coughlin said, you know, they got us out of our comfort zone a little bit. And he said, that's what they can do. He said, I was really proud of our guys because we held it together. 3-0, very steady, very calm and collected was St. Norbert, but they've been that way all season long. We mentioned in the open that they haven't lost since November the 3rd.
The one thing he alluded to during the week was that this is a much different St. Norbert's team than some of the ones in the past, and to draw comparisons to this team and others really isn't fair. This is a younger team. And at times what happens is he will walk into the dressing room before the game and he'll say, my gosh, these guys are a little too loose. It's a little too goofy in here. I'm a little worried about how we're going to show up. And then as the game goes on, they get better, and Jones enables them to do that.
Off the face-off, it's going to be played away, and St. Norbert will set it up in behind the net. Adam Hammerback, and he'll play it along. Sent right back down the length of the ice, and another icing call this time against the Green Knights. Well, let's take a look at the storylines early on in this one. If you're Plattsburgh, you like that run and gun. St. Norbert, they do rely a lot on Kyle Jones.
Yeah, the key for this game, for Plattsburgh State, they're worried about the size of St. Norbert's defense. So they feel if they can get to the net, they'll be able to get tips, screens, deflections, good penetration off the walls, and get offensive chances. So the question mark as you watch this game is, can Red get to the paint in front of Kyle Jones and create offense?
Puck is going to be played around, and Belanger will skate it out for St. Norbert. Try to go rink wide. Nice little job to dump it in for Tyler Allen.
That stick on the ice, but a great job on that shift. It knocked away one play, just knocked away another. That's a good stick.
Now, I was going to say that's what you call a good stick, but you beat me to it as it's played out of there, and Dylan Clark now.
Yeah, we've just been working together too long.
You know, you're starting to look like me, by the way, as the puck is played in behind the net.
Not a compliment.
John Skoog, and he'll get it out right back to center ice. Taken away by Plattsburgh. Cardinals decked out in that red uniform. St. Norbert wearing the white trimmed in green and gold. Now moved along by Brandon Longley, and he'll get it right back to center ice. Into the zone it goes. Boyd shot stopped that time, and handling it is Hintz. Brian Hintz sharp there. First team All-Star in each of his years in junior. No score. It's the Division III Men's Ice Hockey Championship.
Do you think that we, as the Coke brand, would have a case against the Coke Zero brand for taste infringement? What's your specialty?
I am in real estate law.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Let's say
This is a property.
an architectural. It's been it's made a landmark. Next door, somebody buys the lot. They build an eerily similar house. What can we do there? Let's put on the lawyer pants and walk down that path.
Da, 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 da.
Kelly, it's Daddy. Boop. Hey, Pumpkin, it's Dad's phone. He can't answer right now because he doesn't have AT&T, which means he gets 0 bars up here on this ridge. So, that text message about you spending the night at Steffi's, Johnny Knocker here won't get that. And come Monday, you're going to be the girl with a crazy father who no one wants to date.
Kelly!
Sorry, Pumpkin.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places.
Kelly Moore!
Get complete coverage of all the NCAA championships at ncaa.com, the official site of college sports. Good one developing here early on. No score in the national championship game of Division III, Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert. This one deflected right to the front of Brian Hintz, and he'll hold on to get a face-off.
Now, you see what I'm talking about with the goaltenders playing deep in the crease, and Hintz likes to do that. Now, when he gave up that first goal yesterday, I thought he was a little deep off the draw. When the rebound came at him, he didn't have an opportunity to react to it very well because of how tight he was. He does use that paddle down, and he's very good at it, but he relies on his reflexes. I think as he gets more confident in the NCAA, you'll start to see him move out just a little bit more.
Now, this one played right back in, and setting it up in behind the net is Plattsburgh's Tom Breslin. Now Breslin will go right back after it. Puck play to the corner, and now here come the Cardinals as they'll flip it off the glass and get it out. Penalty coming up here. It's going to go against St. Norbert. Looks like it's going to be a roughing penalty. Happened along the boards, and we hope the Plattsburgh player is going to be okay. I think that's Adam Hammerbeck.
Offensive zone penalty taken by St. Norbert's, and those are always the ones that get you out of your rhythm a little bit as the play moved up ice. And there's the elbow to the head, and you risk a 5 on a flagrant penalty like that. 2 minutes up on the board at the moment. So Plattsburgh State gets a chance to go on the power play, Matt. And this is what we alluded to earlier. They have lived on their power play this year. It's very good. They get great work out of their point guys, and they're able to get a presence in front of the net.
So they strike first on the power play as they set it up and get it in deep. No score. We've played nearly 15 minutes of this opening period of the Division III National Championship game. They try to move it back to the line, now holding on to it down low, and looking to move it there, Phil Farrell. He'll work it to the line. Corey with it now for Plattsburgh. For Wilson, Corey, one-timer. That's wide of the mark. Well, we talked so much about Kyle Jones. They're going to need him here is St. Norbert. As Rolls will pass south of the net. Another shot just wide of the mark. Camping out in front that time, Scott Pulak, or excuse me, Sean Dennis. And we're going to whistle and a stoppage of play.
Dennis, one of 2 transfers on this team that came from Niagara to join the Plattsburgh State Cardinals, and there you see Plattsburgh getting the screen in front of the net that they want. They will cycle on the power play, work back to the point. They'll feed the points and try to jam the front of the net. It's a simple power play, but they're pretty effective when they keep it that simple.
Corey has it to the point. He'll work it down low. Now they work it on left wing, and Corey with some room now at the left point. Out high, Rolls took a weak shot. Corey now with it.
Rolls gets a little time and space, Matty. He's got a bomb, 6 red.
Wilson has it, right left circle, back to Corey. Now here's a chance, Rolls with a shot, stopped that time by Kyle Jones.
And that's a good shot because it produced the rebound. Maybe you want it a little lower so the rebound stays on the ice, but he got it through, and that's one of the things Rolls does so well. He gets shots to the net from the point.
Take it away, and St. Norbert will backhand one all the way down the length of the ice. Special teams third in the NCAA on the power play. Plattsburgh and St. Norbert first in that penalty kill, way over 90%. For the Green Knights as the puck is played back in over the line, and now Plattsburgh will dump one in. Good job by Breslin to get it in behind the net. He'll set it up on left wing. Failed clearing attempt by St. Norbert. Now Smith out at the line for Breslin. Breslin going into the corner, looking to set it up there for Eric Sadum. Out of the line for Breslin. Plays a little two-man game with Sadum. Down low it goes.
You got to be careful now with the guy coming out of the box, especially on this big rink.
Smith has it, blocked away. And that's what Smith did. He released off that left point as the penalty has expired. Out of the box is Boyd. This one's going to be taken away, and the Cardinals come quickly back the other way. 3-on-2 developing. Over the line. Oh, what a move. To the front. Oh, and Jones never got a piece of it, but what a great backhander that time by Dan Silas.
I like the fact that he took a risk to try to make a better play, but you got to puck into a scoring area, and on your backhand, it's never a bad idea to throw it towards the net.
Back over the line, and now knocked away into the corner it goes. And the Cardinals of Plattsburgh State will look to play it down low. Curry has it. And he'll wrap it along. Nick Rolls getting all sorts of ice time. He hails from Marysville, Michigan. That's a little north of Detroit, up in the thumb. Happen to know where that place is from spending a lot of time in the state of Michigan as Curry will set it up inside of his own zone.
We seem to be there a lot this year, weren't we?
Seemed like we had sublets in Ann Arbor. In a lot of those Michigan Wolverine games, they're a #1 seed in the Division I tournament as the puck is played back at center and now dumped right back in. Good play there by Thompson as the puck will wrap around, Rolls with a weak shot blocked away, and St. Norbert will get it right back to center. Is this what you thought, Dave? I mean, good opportunities. We have one team that is terrific offensively, the other one not shabby at all offensively as well, but not many scoring attempts or chances really in the first 8.5 minutes.
Well, Kyle Jones has answered the question early, is he ready to play in this kind of game? And he certainly has been. Plattsburgh State is a team that's a little bit more offensive, and again, they can get pucks behind D's and go to work off the cycle, and they've had a power play, so they've been able to generate a little bit more. St. Norbert's right now holding true to form. Not a great start, getting the goaltending and getting an opportunity to get themselves going and get online.
Right away, and St. Norbert will get it right back to center ice. Steven Sleep chasing it down, but it's turned the other way. Now Skoog picks it up, and St. Norbert will bring it right back in. Here come the Green Knights with a wrister, a stop, and a rebound is covered up by Brian Hintz. As the puck will squirt free and along the left wing boards, the Cardinals will try to get it out. Well, Hintz couldn't get a face-off, couldn't buy one there as the puck is sent outside the zone and all the way back to center.
He's another one of those goaltenders that does the glove turned over type of style. The glove's not out and open going from bottom to top, but rather it's up a little bit higher and facing outward, so it goes more top to bottom, and you will never convince me that that is the right way to keep your glove position.
Langford shot right on, stopped by Hintz, and the Cardinals will get it out. First to speed, right back to center ice, and they'll dump one deep. Good pace all of a sudden here, 10:38 remaining in the opening period. No score today from Olympic Center, Herb Brooks Arena, historic Lake Placid, New York. Longley will get it out right back to center ice, and moving it there is Sam Tika. Got it in over the line, and this one's covered up by Hintz, and he'll hold on. Oh, Plattsburgh with a great chance. Dan Sliasis here, but still no score from Lake Placid. Well, we know Plattsburgh State is offensive-minded. Their head coach, Bob Emery, said, "We are a blue-collar team with no superstars, our forwards especially. We need to work hard and sacrifice to win." Our freshmen came in and quickly made a very big impact. They are dynamic offensively. And a great look at Bob Emery, Boston College grad from 1986. If he were to win today, it would be coaching victory number 399 in this his 18th season with the Cardinals.
You talk about some of those freshmen like Ryan Corey and Dylan Clark, and their goaltender Brian Hintz have really done a nice job. Dan Sliasis has also been great. They've done well recruiting. They don't feel that they've got some of the higher-end kids that have wound up in other parts of the conference, but they do love the character of the players that they've brought in. And Dylan Clark is turning into a dynamite player in this conference.
Well, the Cardinals are going to try to get it outside the zone. Good heat here put on by St. Norbert. Steven Sleep, and he'll dump one in behind the net where it's chased down by Nick Rolls. No score early on. Lake Placid, thanks for joining us. And back out come the Cardinals in a 3-on-3. Over the line it goes. Nice little move there by Smith. Picked off. It just sent wide. I don't know if goaltender Kyle Jones ever saw that as the puck is played in behind the net by Willock. And now St. Norbert will get it right back to center ice. Shane Wheeler that time deflecting one, and it goes over the line. And we get an icing call against the Green Knights. In case you joined us late, semi-final action here in Division III yesterday. Plattsburgh State took on Elmira. And they were down in this game, Dave, 2-0 early on, just 4.5 minutes into the hockey game.
Emery called a timeout, down 2-0. Called the team in, and he said, you know what, guys? They're not +2 on you. You're -2 on them because you're not sharp. And you're a better team. You know you're a better team. Go out there and play like you're a better team, and don't beat yourself. The next 2 or 3 shifts that they had out of the timeout were really, really good. So they took a momentum-changing time, worked it in their favor, and from that moment on, they were light years ahead of their opponent during that game.
Power play perked them up a little bit. They went 2 for 4. Penalty killing went 2 for 3. They gave up an early one, but boy, what a comeback by the Cardinals of Plattsburgh State. They've traveled very well here. As we mentioned, the school less than 70 miles from Lake Placid. I got to be honest, I didn't map quest it, but that's okay because it's about an hour away towards the Canadian border as we get a whistle on the save by goaltender Brian Hintz. Well, we told you about Plattsburgh. What about St. Norbert? They had an interesting one. Norwich kind of came in waves, but they were able to hold off, and the 3-0 score propelled them into the finals.
Well, Norwich is a good, strong, physical team, and their head coach, Tom Coughlin, thought that this is going to be the type of game where they might wind up on their heels at some point because of the skill level of Norwich, and they were. However, they withstood it. When you've got a guy like Jones in net, you can withstand some of those flurries that come against you. And every team that St. Norbert's has played down the stretch, every coach has told me this week, it is amazing what that kid does. And when he's on, their confidence level goes sky high.
Well, we get an icing call here, so a face-off back at the other end. NCAA March Madness Central on CSTV.com is the place to find the pulse of March Madness. Get the latest news, scores, stats, highlights, and more on your favorite teams and bracket picks all through the tournament. Well, both basketball and hockey underway. Here we have the Division III National Championship here today.
And it's been a good tournament so far at the D3 level, and I can't believe what's been going on at the D1 level. This college hockey has mimicked college football in terms of surprises and upsets and unbelievable games. I mean, that Division I tournament that's going on right now has been wild.
Still no score as we step out from Herb Brooks Arena, Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert. So here in a scoreless national championship game between St. Norbert and Plattsburgh State as the Green Knights of St. Norbert will send one deep. It's out of the net, Langley now. He'll look to get one in front. Working it in behind the net as well there. And now it's taken away and out of the zone it comes. Right back to center ice. Into the zone for Joey Wilson. Now a shot right on Kyle Jones. Big juicy rebound, but it's steered aside. And St. Norbert comes flying back. Ryan Peterson over the line. Wrist shot. And a left pad save that time by Brian Hintz. Good up and down action here in Lake Placid on this last sequence, Dave.
And Hintz equal to the challenge. Peterson got great speed through the neutral zone, and he had a little bit of a gap at the blue line where he could make a move and keep going wide, so he used his space well. Hintz stayed with him, just kind of moved along and kept the low ice protected. Hintz as good as that, but I like the read by Peterson to recognize the room that he had.
Shot on, stopped, and a rebound is gloved by Hintz. That shot got through from the point from John Skoog out of Long Lake, Minnesota.
And you make a very good point. That shot got through. On the bigger rink, you'll see that a little bit more than you would on the 200 by 85. This is an Olympic sheet. It's a little bit wider, so shot lanes, especially from wider angles on the ice closer to the boards, have better chances of finding the net.
Still the same room laterally from dot to dot in the face-off circles, but you have bigger corners and so much room on the outside, as you just mentioned it.
And this place has big corners, but not as big as, let's say, the rink at UNH, the Whittemore Center, or the World Arena in Colorado Springs. Those are some big corners. These are good corners. Those are big corners.
Wrapping it around and now keeping. Good keep down low there by Mike Vaccaro. Now Vaccaro's going to go in and help out, but it's taken away, and out of the zone comes Mark Belanger. Belanger crossing center. He's got players cutting to the net. Shot on, Hintz the save, and taking a swipe that time, Tyler Allen. Hintz has been very good on his rebound control, and you need that when you're in a D3 national championship. Speaking of championships, Plattsburgh State, 16 appearances, including this one this season, Dave.
And everybody thinks Middlebury when you think of the Division III national titles, as they have been such a dominant force in the last 20 years. But Plattsburgh State, going back 20, 30 years, they've just had a great program. Bob Emery's done a terrific job. He's continued the tradition that has gone on at Plattsburgh State, but through the 80s and through the 90s, this was one dynamic program.
High sticking call, so they'll bring the face-off all the way back inside the St. Norbert zone.
And should continue to improve as their new facility gets underway. They're gutting the rink. They're only keeping the walls and the ceiling. New boards, new glass, new seats, new rows, individual seats instead of benches. It's going to help their recruiting, and it's definitely going to help their fan support, which is already very good up there in Plattsburgh, New York.
In case you're just joining us, we're in Lake Placid, New York, the Olympic Center. Longley the shot, and that's kicked away by Brian Hintz. With Dave Starman, I'm Matt McConnell, the Division III National Championship of Men's Hockey. And happy Easter, everybody, as Plattsburgh State takes on St. Norbert. And a good bid there by the Cardinals before it's knocked away. The other way it goes to Biz. His shot stopped that time. Boy, no rebounds or very few coming from Plattsburgh goaltender Brian Hintz here this afternoon.
Tibbetts gets involved in the offense, and he can play a bit offensively, but he's a great lights-out defenseman. When he played at Green Bay at the USHL, he was a defenseman when he got there, but they moved him up. So you see the offensive skill he had. That's what he did in his 2 years in the USHL. When St. Norbert's recruited him, they recruited him to be a defenseman.
Chance the other way and into the zone. Phil Farrell got cut off nicely defensively. Out high Wilson. He finds a wide open roll, but he fell down. And the puck is taken away by Sam Tika as he headmans over the line for Brad Herman. Now leaving it there for Sean Overton. Puck played into the corner, and this one's knocked away, and here comes Plattsburgh. Boy, we just go up and down the ice under 6 minutes remaining. Face-offs pretty even, as are the shots. And this has been a pretty good pace first period here between Plattsburgh and St. Norbert in the Division III Men's National Championship game.
The one thing I think that Plattsburgh has done well here in period number one is, we mentioned, they're not a big rush team, but they have very good individual skills in terms of their forwards. They can make moves at the line. They can buy some space by taking wide and then pulling a string. So while they haven't been traditionally a rush type situation, they're getting into the zone off the rush to get offense.
In behind the net, trying to go short side, and coming close that time was Mike Thompson. And out of the zone, Pulak, and he'll dump it off the left wing boards and sends it deep into the zone for Taylor Langford. Now Langford and Pulak try to get something going. Pulak has it in behind the net, shrouded by a couple of Plattsburgh State players. Back out towards the line, but this one's intercepted, and back comes Thompson. Thompson over the line, and he'll dump it deep. Smart play that time, as Plattsburgh State was on a line change. Out of the zone quickly, and the other way comes John Skoog. Skoog into the zone. He's checked off the puck momentarily. Now Skoog gets it right back, comes in front. Chance that time Steven Sleep is blocked away. And out of the zone again comes Mike Vaccaro. Vaccaro, nice move that time around Belanger.
That's what we're talking about, those individual skills. And Vaccaro might be the best on the team at it. I mean, he's more the energy line center than the finesse line center. But boy, oh boy, you give him a little bit of space, he makes a lot of things happen.
Back over the line for Tyler Allen, and this play is offside, and so the face-off comes out. Well, it's trivia time, and today's trivia question: which former All-American Division III goaltender went on to have a stellar 10-year career in the National Hockey League from 1991 to 2001? Think about that for a while. We will get back with that one a little bit later on. Happy Easter again, everybody. And that's a good one.
That is. I'm trying to think. I mean, I know that he didn't play for either one of these two clubs. I just keep the names going through the mind. I'm going to have to power between periods, see if we can come up with this.
I think I might know who he is. In fact, I think he might have lived in my neighborhood at one point.
You know what? That's what I was thinking too, but I couldn't remember if the program that he was in at the time was D3 or D1 yet.
Played back and over the line, and this one sent behind the net, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Well, Kyle Jones, the numbers are just absolutely tremendous. He is a shutout maven, Dave.
You know, they talked about him as a potential pro. When we talked to Tom Coughlin yesterday about him, he said there's been no discussion between me and Kyle about turning pro. He's got the type of academic schedule right now, and he's a very good student. He's over 3.0, where he can't take an incomplete by turning pro now and then coming back. So the game plan for him is finish the season, finish the school year, and then think ahead towards next year in a pro career.
Wilson has it, sent right to Kyle Jones, and this time he holds on. Now a little bit of pushing and shoving as St. Norbert and Stephen Sleep didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, a whole lot to do about nothing here, but you got to admire Sleep for coming in, and if he doesn't stop, he's going to wind up in the penalty box. But shot to the net real quick, and Jones makes a save. A little collision here, and it wasn't even Wilson's fault, as Jones earns himself an Academy Award for diving, and Sleep does his job. A little nastiness. Sometimes you want to create something out of nothing just to get a little blood flow on the bench, and Sleep, who had a very good game yesterday, does that.
Now the puck is played and sent into the corner. That's where Wilson will set it up.
There's that cycle that Plattsburgh is so good at, and that's what you want to watch for the next 43 minutes and change, is them trying to generate offense off of that play.
Yeah, you know, in terms of getting it to the net, they rely on that cycle and that play down low. Tim Coughlin, excuse me.
Did I say Tom again? I did that 2 years ago also.
Not a football fan, are you?
Well, Giant fever kind of caught my neighborhood, if you know what I mean.
Faceoff's going to be to the left of goaltender Kyle Jones. Jones from North Delta, British Columbia. Played his junior hockey at Coquitlam. The puck sent right back in, and that's where Jones will set it up defensively in behind the net.
Speaking of goalies who people thought were going to be pros, congratulations to Matt Climby of Bemidji State, who signed a pro contract with the Dallas Stars last week. Climby, a great season for Bemidji as they bowed to Niagara in the CHA title game last week.
Knopper quickly on left wing. He'll bring it along as St. Norbert brings it inside the zone. Here's Belanger. His shot stopped. Glove save, and he grabs it. Does Brian Hintz. Oh, what a stop that time by the Plattsburgh goaltender.
The pass is really where this play came in. You use the big ice surface, and when you go board to board, you can make a pass with speed to the far side. Belanger came in, and I like his shot selection too. Not ecstatic about the way that the goaltender Hintz played it, because that's something you should catch, not just knock down. But he makes a big save nonetheless, keeps this game scoreless. And again, it just riles me up, and you know it does. That hand up as opposed to hand down style, because that to me is the result of it. It's hard to catch pucks.
Into the zone it goes Bernardi. His shot stopped that time by Hintz. St. Norbert in the last minute and a half or so starting to bring it. On the Cardinals is now Kulak will play it in behind the net.
I think Hintz took that one right off the bucket when he made that save.
He has been very, very sharp here in the early going. Here in period number one, we roll late with 2:07 remaining. And now setting it up inside of his own zone is going to be defenseman John Scoot. Played right back to center, and Breslin will handle it for Plattsburgh State.
Sorry, man. Hintz has made a huge difference this year. Last year, they got very good goaltending from Chris Molinaro.
Ryan Peterson has it. His shot glove save that time by Hintz. And he holds on. He's been the story for Plattsburgh State here in this opening period, Dave.
He has, and what he does is he gives them confidence, because he's become, quote-unquote, the shutdown goaltender that has been able to carry them through tight parts of games.
Well, we mentioned the Boston College connection with Bob Emery, a couple of NCAA championships, and how about those 9 Frozen Fours?
He was part of a Boston College team in 1986 that when they were playing in the Beanpot, you remember that era? All the teams that were going to championships and making music videos like the Super Bowl Shuffle. Boston College did something that was called the Beanpot Trot. And they made this video, and Emery seems to think he's a pretty good dancer. So he's got to spot this video with some guys who've played a long time in the NHL in the same clipping. And Matt, you got to see it to believe it. It is funny, but I would not put him on Dancing with the Stars.
We ain't here to cause no trouble. Doug Brown, one of his teammates, Bob Sweeney, and Scott Harlow, some of the names from back in the day at Boston College, upended on the play, and a penalty coming up here is going to go against St. Norbert. Sadum was upended inside the blue line, so Plattsburgh's going to get another power play.
And you notice Plattsburgh is staying out of the box, and this is something that they have done so well the last few years. Is their theme is the best penalty kill is no penalty kill, and they live on their power play. They get another opportunity. As there's the penalty right there, as the stick of the player follows through to knock his opponent down, so it's an automatic call. And once again, Plattsburgh not only did they get the power play, they start with an offensive zone draw.
So Adam Hammer back in the penalty box for St. Norbert.
There's a good hockey team.
Smart kid, National Honor Society, biology major. Maybe not the smartest of plays coming out of the zone there, though. So just above the right face-off circle, this puck is going to be played away, and Nopper will get it outside the zone. A late first period opportunity with a man advantage for Plattsburgh State.
And Plattsburgh State, or rather St. Norbert's not a shorthanded threat. They've only got one all year. They think defense and a penalty kill. They're not thinking shorties.
Rolls has it out high, shot blocked away. Rolls and Curry are the point men right now. Now Curry moves it along Wilson. Now here's Rolls. He'll play that midpoint. Rolls gets a shot through, and that's blocked by the defense. Played in behind the net by Ryan Peterson, who's out killing the penalty, and the Green Knights will send down the length of the ice.
Now to follow that up, they've never been in a situation late in games where they found that they needed to steal a goal in their PK. They've got a system in place where they can if they want to, but they're concerned when they're down 5-on-4 is keeping pucks out of the net. So you're not going to see guys breaking or going long for passes.
Puck to the front, another chance. Kyle Jones to stop, and a quick whistle.
And how cool is he in terms of the way he plays right off the goal line when pucks are coming towards him? He doesn't flop a lot. His composure, as his coach said, bleeds through the team. He stays calm, he keeps them calm. He's got a young team in front of him, and by not moving and not flopping around as much as he did, much like Chancey Calhoun did when he was playing here a couple of years ago, he is just much more stable and solid down on the goal line, and it exudes confidence for his teammates.
Out to the line, Smith will pass it along. Here's a shot, Breslin missed the net. Side of the net, this one's going to be cleared away. Steven Sleep for St. Norbert, trying to get it outside the zone. Got help that time from Brandon Longley as it's set down. Just 3 seconds left. The power play will carry over, and that's going to do it for the opening period here from Lake Placid. Pretty good opening period, good goaltending, and some good scoring opportunities to say the least. Our score at the end of one, no score between Plattsburgh and St. Norbert in this Division III championship. There's plenty more action to come from Olympic Center. But first, we send it to the March Sports. Welcome back and getting set for the second period of our national championship of Division III from Lake Placid. No score, Plattsburgh State and St. Norbert. Let's take a look at the highlights, Dave Starman, from that opening period. Goaltenders, well, both ends, and very solid.
As advertised, they have delivered. Jones has been pretty good at keeping pucks in front of him. A couple of rebounds have gotten away from him, but he's been able to stay square to them and keep them within range of his body so he can make a good second save if he has to. There's a good example of it right there, and look how cool he is. And on the other end, Hintz is awesome and very good. And his rebound control, I think this period has been dynamite. And this is something that he has been able to do all season long. You limit those second chances, it really eliminates the wear and tear on your D.
24 shots on goal, and so far, Plattsburgh unable to cash in on power plays, but should point out much better than we thought in the face-offs because Plattsburgh State admittedly is not that good in the circle.
That is very true. They had a tough night last night, and they have been better so far. When you're looking at those stats, you're seeing 2 power plays or 2 penalties that St. Norbert's has taken, but only 0 for 1 for Plattsburgh. They start on the man advantage here in period number 2.
So at center ice, Steven Sleep will send one in. You saw that number from championships past. Plattsburgh, St. Norbert looking for their first ever here today as the puck has moved along and back it over the line. Wilson for Plattsburgh State, and it's knocked away and cleared out of there. Don't forget, still time, 18 seconds remaining in the power play for Plattsburgh State. In case you're joining us late, Plattsburgh decked out in the red, St. Norbert wearing the white trimmed in green and gold as the puck is played back and over the line. Here's Wilson, lost the puck. Oh, he had a great chance between the circles, and he lost the puck at his skates. Tough break there as Steven Sleep brings it back. Sleep to the front of the net. They jam it along, and it's knocked away. Hintz didn't know where it was, and another shot hit traffic in front.
Hintz never knew the second shot was even coming. He was tied up in front of the net. There was all kinds of confusion going on. I'm not so sure the second shot got to him, but if it did, unless it hit him, it was in. He had no idea it was coming.
Icing the call against St. Norbert. That's because the power play has expired. But what a sequence for the Green Knights in front of Brian Hintz.
Yeah, they get an opportunity as they come in, Sleep making a good little move to get to the front of the net, and look how solid Hintz is in terms of not giving up ground too quickly. He managed to hold on here, and now at the last minute he backs in just so that when the shot comes through, he can take away the low ice.
In behind the net, Brandon Longley will set it up, flips it along, and now out of the zone it goes back to center. Intercepted there and knocked in by Vaccaro. A couple of players tangling in front of the St. Norbert goal. Boyd was one of them. The other player, C.J. Tozo, who joined us in the first intermission. Boyd will get it back to center, and here he comes. In over the line for St. Norbert. Shot just past the glove of Hintz. Now Hintz tries to go after it again, and he ends up snaring a cross-ice pass, and we'll get a face-off.
Very soccer style, too. You know, sometimes in soccer,
corner kick.
Yeah, they'll do a cross, and then the goaltender will come out to grab it as opposed to letting it bounce anywhere. That's kind of what Hintz did right there, as that puck came out of the corner through the front. He turned his glove over, much like a shortstop would, and grabbed it instead of letting it go through for possible tips.
Now the puck is played away, and out of the zone it goes for Wilson. He'll move it along quickly as he backhands one into the St. Norbert zone. Played behind the net. Kyle Jones will wrap it around. Rolls, keeps it the point. This shot just wide of the mark. And out of the corner it goes, where it's played by Peter Filling. Filling hasn't seen a ton of ice time here today, as it's covered up in the crease by Brian Hintz, and yet another face-off coming up. So we've played 1:57 of the second period. If you go back to the first, we talked about Bob Emery, the head coach of Plattsburgh. Let's give just due to Tim Coughlin, who has done a tremendous job at St. Norbert. This is 15th season, Dave.
And he's played in 2 national title games, or I should say he's coached his team in 2 national title games, failed to score a goal in either. Unfortunately, they played Middlebury in both. He was ecstatic when they got here and realized that Billy Beanie and his boys were not going to join the party.
Well, Coughlin has been terrific in Green Bay, Wisconsin, as the puck is played away and out of the zone it goes. Wilson has it, gets it back over the line. Now trying to throw to the front, knocked away there, and playing it in behind the net. St. Norbert, they'll look to set it up. This one goes over the glass and out of play.
Well, we spoke to the head coach at St. Norbert's earlier in the week as he talked about his team. He said we're getting contributions from different guys every night. It can be our special teams, a big defensive effort, or goaltending winning us a game on any given night. And again, the comparisons to teams in the past are things that he's trying to get away from. He feels that this team has created a much different identity than some of the other powerhouse teams that he might have had and brought to national titles in the past 10 years.
Bernardi got stripped by Willock, and he'll get it back right to the St. Norbert line. They have to wait onside, and now the puck is played on the offside. We get a whistle here as Langford that time, maybe a little bit of a late hit on Dylan Clark of Plattsburgh State.
Yeah, Dylan trying to get a little bit going here and try to create a little motion. The one thing about this game, the game has been played very well on the skill level, but sometimes on the big ice, you don't get an opportunity to be as physical. Norwich was very physical yesterday, and Norwich felt that St. Norbert's did a pretty good job in terms of throwing the body around. But sometimes on the big rink, guys are afraid to take that step towards the boards and fear of getting caught out of position. Remember, there's about another 7.5 feet both sides from side to side. So if you run out of position to make a big hit, you might not get back where you need to be.
Well, the big ice is something new to St. Norbert. Talked to Tim Coughlin yesterday, and he said, hey, this is the first weekend all year that we played on the big ice as it comes in front and knocked away that time by Brian Hintz.
And they handled it well. And Norwich actually had a somewhat of a home ice advantage because Norwich's rink is an Olympic rink.
Now Bernardi gets muscled off the puck. Here's Saban. Got it towards the front and a backhander over the top of the net. Oh, good look there, Sliasis. They're playing along, and now Sliasis has it again. His shot right on, stopped that time by Kyle Jones. Here comes Plattsburgh with a little bit of an offensive wave before it's played out of there, and Mike Bernardi will try to get it out, and this puck will be sent all the way back inside the Cardinals zone. They're behind the net. They look to set it up, and here they come. Ryan Corey on right wing. Sliasis tries to move it along. Now Overton has it, and he dumps it right back in for the Green Knights.
They're trying to get their forecheck going, trying to pound a little bit on the Plattsburgh defenseman. Plattsburgh will see if they can get their game going when we get back to Lake Placid. Scoreless tie with a title on the line.
There's the week, there's the weekend, and then there's the weekender.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the subscription from the New York Times, I love it.
Like your whole weekend's just started. It's come a little early.
So the deal is you call the 1-800 number, and then you get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for $3.35, which is half off, which is pretty crazy.
So you get the Friday paper, and boom, you're right into the weekend.
Saturday. The word alone makes me happy. I love to sort of pull everything out of the Sunday paper.
Travel section.
Magazine.
Weekend review. The international news.
The book review. I got these really great boots after reading the Sunday style section.
All I did was call the 1-800 number. I'm not one of those call now people.
Call!
You should call now.
I love to have the New York Times delivered.
Who doesn't like to save money?
Call now because it's a great deal.
It's like having a table of contents for everything in the world.
I mean, how much would you give for that?
The Weekender subscription from the New York Times. Get it now for as low as $3.35 a week. Call 1-800-395-9166.
Who doesn't like to start the weekend a day early?
The best place to get college sports today is College Sports Tonight, a new nightly show that gets you inside the latest news, scores, and highlights right here tomorrow night at 6:30. Just go ahead, put it into your DVR, your favorite places. I watched it all last week, Dave. It's a great show. Greg Amsinger and Adam Zucker involved in that studio. They do a tremendous job, and they get you updated nightly. As the puck is played along the wall, Shane Wheeler will send one in behind the net. That's chased down by Ryan Corey.
Great time of year in college sports, too, with March Madness and the NCAA hockey tournament just starting to get itself underway. The brackets are done in Division I, and that should be a great tournament.
We'll talk Wisconsin maybe a little bit later on. I know you and I have a differing opinion on that one as the puck is played in behind the net by Nick Tabiz, and he'll send right back down the length of the ice. Interesting how Division III wraps up a little bit earlier before the Division I tournament gets underway.
You know what? It's the kind of thing where why would you want one to steal thunder from the other?
I agree.
Type of thing. And this game doesn't conflict with the 4 championship tournaments that were held this past weekend. And congratulations to the winners, Michigan and the CCHA, Boston College in Hockey East, who knocked out the regular season champions New Hampshire in 3 overtimes on Friday night. Tremendous. Minnesota, unbelievable run through the WCHA. They lost to Denver last night. And Princeton, how about Guy Godowski and the Tigers? It only took Coach Godowski 3 years to get Princeton up and going again, and Princeton will go to the dance.
And their reward, North Dakota. But Princeton's had a great year, and you never know. All you want is a chance, just like these 2 teams here this afternoon, battling it out for a national championship in Division III. As it's moved along, and St. Norbert crosses center. Stephen Sleep, he got picked to the puck. And the strip results in St. Norbert having to go back to retrieve it. On left wing, looking to move it out of the zone. That time, Tyler Allen. This one's taken away, and a low glove save that time by Kyle Jones as he holds on.
I'm of the opinion that the longer Jones pitches the shutout, the more the frustration level could set in for Plattsburgh State. Now, they're a dynamic offensive team. We all know that. They score a ton of goals, but they're playing against a guy who's coming in with all kinds of accolades and had a record-setting season and has been so good for his team in terms of clamping things down that you have to start thinking, if you're Plattsburgh State, you don't get a goal soon, then you start to wonder if you're ever going to score.
Clark has it momentarily, knocked away. Pulak moves it out into the zone. Ryan Peterson. Oh, and he almost got a shot away before it was taken away that time by Dylan Clark. Now Pulak has it. Pulak trying to cut towards the front. All sorts of traffic there for St. Norbert. Now Langford, and that deflected just wide of the mark. Pulak there again for the Green Knights.
Good hands in front of the net, taking a beating.
Now Tabiz got it to the front. They score!
the net's a good one, and St. Norbert's on a little reverse cycle. Tabiz throws it to the front of the net. Pulak, we had just mentioned good hand-eye and good hands in front. Look at him calling for the puck. He's wide open, and you should never be that open anywhere near the net. Puck comes through, gets the stick turned over. Tabiz is not in bad position, but his stick wasn't. However, whenever a pass comes in like that, it's hard for the goalie to react. You want your goalie in that position to be as close to the tip as you can be. Tabiz, by being so far back, actually, Matt, gave that puck room to move, and Pulak gets a big goal.
Their head coach, Tim Coughlin, told you and I yesterday, Dave, that he's got great hand-eye coordination, best on the team, and maybe the best at the Division III level, and he proves it out there as St. Norbert has taken a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. He talked about how Pulak, even when he's on a back check, puck comes through the middle of the ice or a cross-ice pass happens in the air. When he's back checking through the middle, he's got that ability to knock pucks down and turn transition the other way. Reminds me a lot in that respect of Pete MacArthur at Boston University with that good hand-eye.
Mike Bernardi will move it along. St. Norbert now with all sorts of energy off that goal as we get a whistle, puck played over the glass, and a face-off to come back in the neutral zone.
So now the scenario changes a little bit for Plattsburgh. We talked a moment ago about as this game goes on and they don't get a goal against a goaltender with the reputation of Jones, as frustration sets in. Now it changes because not only do they need a goal to get the game tied, but they need a goal just to get their offense on track.
20-0-2 they are when they score the first goal, but don't forget Plattsburgh State yesterday fell behind 2-0 in that semifinal game to Elmira College as we get another whistle, and the faceoff's going to be marked back towards the St. Norbert blue line. So I don't think Bob Emery is necessarily worrying. After all, his team on the season, Dave, they scored 5 or more goals in 15 games, and they scored 6 or more goals in 10.
You know, the one thing he talked about was that the year that they've had can be defined by timely saves and timely goals. And they've got a lot of timely saves in this game. They got a lot of timely goals yesterday, but you know, they're very good at momentum-changing situations. This is a momentum-changing situation in this game. Let's see how their first 2 or 3 shifts after the goal against turn out. It'll tell a lot about where they're going as a team here.
Steven Sleep will play it in behind the net, got knocked off the puck. Beautiful play there as it's moved along by Mike Baccaro. Baccaro gets stripped of the puck, and so to the rescue this time, Ryan Burke out of Southfield, Michigan. Pulak has it. He's down low in the left wing corner. Oh, another shot, and that's handled again, this time by goaltender Brian Hintz, and that'll draw a face-off.
Pulak with another good shot, and he almost didn't wind up here. He's a local kid, and Coughlin knew the family, knew his dad very well, and he thought about maybe wanting to go to St. Norbert's. St. Norbert's didn't think it was a great fit, so he originally signed and committed to Lake College in the same league. However, one of these top scorers at St. Norbert's bailed out on him, and they called Lake Forest and said, you know what, Pulak always kind of wanted to be here. We weren't sure. We didn't have room for him, but we've got a spot for him now. Would you mind releasing him so that he can come here and play? And Lake Forest, to their credit, said, you know what, if he wants to be there, you got him. They released him, and Pulak fulfilled his dream by playing for St. Norbert's. It's a great story.
And he's locked up with 5 other players along the left wing boards inside the St. Norbert zone. Also in there for Plattsburgh State, Sean Dennis. And now it's taken away and played in behind the net. Hammerbeck has it now for St. Norbert. Nice lead pass to Ryan Peterson, who crosses center, but he lost the puck. He was draped that time by Nick Rolls, and the puck will be played back inside the Plattsburgh State zone. Thanks for joining us today. A great national championship at the Division III level. St. Norbert with a 1-0 lead thanks to a goal by Scott Pulak just moments ago. And now Longley will bring it along back in over the line for Shane Wheeler. Now it's played. Longley has it. Longley to the front. Oh, and missing a wide open opportunity that time was his teammate Matt Boyd. Back the other way come the Cardinals with a wrist shot, and that over the top of the glass. Now it's played out of the corner, and Napa will bring it right back to center ice. Bouncing puck is freed and now knocked right back in by Plattsburgh State as they get a line change.
You gotta like when a guy like Wheeler can take Farrow to the wall, get a good hit and pin him.
Back over the line, here's Wheeler. Wheeler to the net, and he got poked off the puck at the last possible second. And it's denied, and here come the Cardinals. Back up the ice, over the line it goes. They dish, Clark has it. Shot, glove save, Kyle Jones. That was ticketed for the upper right-hand corner. It's a 1-0 St. Norbert lead. Oh, but what a look as these two teams play on in the second. Trivia question: which former All-American Division III goaltender went on to a 10-year NHL career from 91 to 01? I knew this one. Hamilton College. How about Guy Hebert, who later starred for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim? And he was actually a neighbor of mine. He lived down the street on the golf course side, Dave, and when I found out he was moving in, I looked at him and I said, "What are you doing in my neighborhood?"
You're in the high rent district.
Yeah. I looked at him. I couldn't believe it, but he had one heck of a career and had very, very good international competition with some of the USA international teams, and that really got him on the map. And then Jack Ferreira made the deal and picked him off and got him out there with Ron Tugnut for the Mighty Ducks back in the inaugural 93-94 season.
Good compact style from what I remember, and pretty good rebound control. For some reason, I got Hamilton crossed up with Union. I thought he played at Union. That's why I couldn't get my ducks in a row on that one, no pun intended.
He also played for the St. Louis Blues as this one goes off the netting and out of play. Well, these two teams are going at it here. St. Norbert with a 1-0 lead, and we've had some great moments in Division III within this history of this tournament.
And we talked about Middlebury earlier in the telecast, and they have just been so good in terms of stringing things along and winning championships. And Billy Beanie with that unique style of playing two forwards and one more defenseman on that line, so he's really got two forwards and 3D, and it's a unique style, and boy, does it work for him.
I thought Tom Coughlin had a great line. He said, "We got a fighting chance this time because Middlebury's not here."
Yeah, he was beyond ecstatic when that happened.
Now behind the net, they look to bang it home. Ryan Peterson, he tried it. Now we're going to get a penalty coming up here. It's going to go, we believe, against Plattsburgh State, so they take a rare penalty, and it's going to be an interference call. Happened right in front of their goaltender, Brian Hintz.
Yeah, they got a little crossed up behind the net, and that's what caused Thompson to have to take the penalty. The play started down the other end with St. Norbert's finishing a check in their own zone and managing to separate their opponent from the puck. Good hit. And then it came back the other way. Now, here's what I'm talking about. They got a little crossed up behind the net as the goaltender Hinge tried to move the puck, and he couldn't. And it created some confusion in front of the net. Thompson felt like he had to take a penalty to prevent a goal from going in.
Mike Thompson takes the penalty, interference, the call. And so St. Norbert on the power play. They're behind the net. They lead it 1-0 on that goal by Scott Kulak earlier in the second period. Let's see if they can add to it. But a nice clear by C.J. Tozo as he sends down the length of the ice.
This is a good power play. They've got power play goals in 21 of 31 games this season. And when you take a look at how proficient they have been, 12 multi-power play goal games.
Blanje scores! Power play goal, 2-0 St. Norbert.
Well, they're halfway towards a multi-power play goal game right now. Big time shot, using the defenseman as a screen, high top shelf, and he picks it. Belanger has been good all season. He stepped up. Look at him use the D as a screen off the end of the stick, high glove side. Hintz was in good position for this shot. He was about where he should have been. Belanger, so good positioning, a better shot. And St. Norbert's is up 2-0.
Tim Coughlin yesterday, the head coach, called him a pure shooter. And don't forget, Belanger had that game-winning goal in overtime against Wisconsin Stout back on the 8th of March.
You're talking about that pure shooter. He's had streaks this season where he had goals in 6 straight, goals in 4 straight, and all season long consistently been putting goals on the board.
And behind the net, they look to move it along, does Plattsburgh State. Ryan Burke, and now a nice outlet back to center ice. Flying out right wing, Ward Smith. Ward Smith trying to get around his man, got cut off beautifully that time by John Skoog. Play in behind the net, couple of bodies go flying as Plattsburgh now with all sorts of urgency. They trailed 2-0 yesterday in that semifinal game before coming back with an onslaught. Let's see what they can do here today as the puck is moved along, and Eric Green will get it back inside the St. Norbert blue line. 2-0, a couple of goals here by St. Norbert in the second period from Scott Kulak and Mark Belanger. And right back in over the line, the drop pass, right past the stick, but it's Nopper out high with a shot that's blocked away by the defense. And out of the zone, cleared right back to center ice. Nopper has it again, he'll walk it right back in over the line, but offside the call against the Green Knights.
Well, now Plattsburgh State finds himself in a situation where they're going to have to adhere to one of their mantras, and that is demand and deliver. They've got t-shirts that say that they wear under their equipment, and that is one of the things that they're going to have to do. They're going to have to demand from themselves that they pick up their efforts in the offensive zone. They're getting shots, but now they need screens. Now they need tips. Now they need deflections. And what do we talk about as a storyline? If they can, Plattsburgh State can win if they can get to the net, but they haven't been able to do that consistently.
And that came in with the whole conversation regarding their cycles, their down-low play.
And they've had some down-low play, but they hadn't have enough of it. And I know this morning when I chatted with Bob Emery, the one thing he was concerned about a little bit was the size of the St. Norbert's defense. He said, we have been cycling and generating scoring chances against everybody. They know it's coming. They can't stop it. St. Norbert's has been able to break a lot of these cycles. Their centermen have been good down low, which is eliminating the flow of the puck moving down low to the corner and out again. And their size is keeping Plattsburgh State on the perimeter.
Well, we got a break here. Celebration time in upstate New York. St. Norbert with a couple here in the second, lead at 2-0. Welcome back, 2-0 St. Norbert leading Plattsburgh State. Don't forget, coming up in the second intermission, we'll send you to March Madness Central in New York for an NCAA men's basketball tournament update. Dave and I will also spend some time with St. Norbert junior forward Ryan Peterson. We'll also have a look at the stats and highlights from the second period. It's all coming up at the second intermission. Dave, what has St. Norbert done differently here in the second to take this 2-0 lead as the puck is rolled around?
And they haven't done anything much different than they did at first. They just scored. That's really what it comes down to. But Matt, their theme through the year has been slow starts, and they get better as the game goes on because Jones lets them do that. And they have found their rhythm here in the second period. You look at that power play goal they scored. You know, it's funny how Plattsburgh State talked about, we're going to worry about ourselves. The only thing we're concerned with is the St. Norbert special teams. And what makes a factor in this game? Their penalty killing's been lights out, and their power play is scored.
Green Knights will try to send it down low. Allen in there for St. Norbert. He's locked up along the boards with T.J. Cooper. And now the puck is knocked out of there and right back to center ice. Here comes Cooper quickly on right wing. He'll dish it into the corner. He gets help with C.J. Tozo as well. Tozo has it. Rink-wide pass on that wide ice and a shot on. Kyle Jones the save. Well, Plattsburgh State hasn't had many good looks on Jones here in the second 20, but they get another one there. And a chance here just sent wide.
That time they reversed the cycle. Instead of going up the wall towards the point, they threw the puck down behind the net and came out the opposite side. By reversing the cycle, they were able to catch St. Norbert's defense a little bit flat-footed and try to catch somebody coming in the back door. Nice job by Plattsburgh to recognize that they had the opportunity to do it. Let's see if they continue.
Out of the zone it goes, and right back to center ice. This one's flipped along and sent in by Sean Overton. Behind the net to set it up, Ward Smith. He got checked off the play. Now Dylan Clark will get it outside the zone.
Clark's going to be heard from before this game is over. He's just too good and too quick to be shut down for this long. He's got a great knack of getting pucks in the net and being there to follow up his own rebound. And I tend to think as this game goes on, he'll be heard from.
Filling took it away momentarily, takes a hit there. Now Filling's going to get a penalty.
This could be 5. He's gone. I think he's gone. And he should be. So we just mentioned that Clark might be heard from. If he gets up, he's going to have 5 minutes to play with.
So our referee, Dan Murphy, has sent Filling to the room, and we believe it is a disqualification.
Well, that's irrelevant because it's the end of the season. So whether it's 5 in a game or 5 in a DQ, the bottom line is it's 5. And here it happened along the wall, and that's a bad penalty to take. He saw numbers, which means you have to hold up, and he followed through, and he was within 5 feet of the board. That is 5 minutes, no questions asked. That's a good call by the officiating staff, and Clark, who is a very valuable piece of this Plattsburgh State offense, having some trouble getting up.
Well, Dylan Clark out of Belleville, Ontario, just a freshman at 176 pounds, and we hope he can get up. It is a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Dylan Clark is getting up, seems a little sore, but I got to agree with you, Dave. I think we will hear from Dylan Clark before it's all over. He was a 2-time All-Star in Kingston in the Ontario Provincial Junior Hockey League. Looks like he's going to be okay, and here is the moment for Plattsburgh State with a major.
I totally agree. Now, they need at least one. I mean, obviously, you want as many as you want. Remember, it's all you can eat. 5-minute major, so they will stay on the power play. for the duration of these 5 minutes. And now you're talking about momentum swing territory because you're starting to get under 5 minutes. So they have talked about we've scored early, we've scored late, we haven't given up goals in those times. Now it's time for Plattsburgh to take advantage of what they've done all year.
They'll send it in. Phil Farrow drops it for Rolls. They set it up on that wide ice as it's played out high, this time by Ryan Corey. Corey and Rolls have manned the points all afternoon. Now Rolls, shot blocked away, broke his stick. But quickly go to the bench to get another one.
See, another one of those one-piecers that broke in the middle on a shot, huh?
Shocker, huh? As Rolls will move it along. Now Corey has it, gives it off far side. They work it in behind the net, going after it this time Phil Farrow. And the puck will be wrapped around and sent down the link by the Green Knights.
That hard rim around on the PK is a great tool in a big rink. Because that defenseman, like we said, there's an extra 7.5 feet to cover. So if you get a good rimmer around the wall there, you know it's going to go out.
Wilson back in, and he'll set up shop, does Wilson. Brings it back to the line. Rolls his shot blocked away and knocked out of there. Good clear by Scott Pulak.
He's having some bad luck, Rolls, is on this one. He's got that great shot. He can shoot off the pass very, very well. First shot he took, he broke the stick. It didn't go anywhere. Second chance, he got it blocked.
Plattsburgh and Reynolds bring it along. Ryan Corey flips it on left wing for Phil Farrow. Over the line it goes for Sliasis. Now Sliasis has it. Holding onto it on left wing. Good play to get it down low. They look to set it up. Back at the line it goes. Now Sliasis sets it up. Smith with a shot. That hits somebody out high. It might have been Sam Tika, and it caromed off his skate, and they send down the length of the ice. Play rolls on with 3:19 remaining in the power play here for Plattsburgh State. They need some goals. They trail it by 2. Over the line it goes. He's setting it up this time. Ward Smith. He'll go behind the net. Sliasis is still there. Gets it back to the line for Smith. Now Breslin. They'll try the right side. Haven't tried that much here on this power play as Breslin plays it down low. They go behind the net. Centering play. Oh, the play was there for Dylan Clark, but they can't get it to him. So back of the line, here's Breslin, 18 red. Rink wide, gave it off to Ward Smith. Now Dylan Clark can't keep the zone as the puck is played out of there, and another hit. Ward Smith is slow to get up.
I thought Peterson left his feet there. From our angle, openly jumped to throw the hit, and if that was the case, that should have been a call also.
Ward Smith is having a tough time, but he's going to stay out at the left point. Now Plattsburgh State still with some time. A little over 2 minutes, 20 seconds as the puck is sent, and now fanned out and cleared by St. Norbert. Well, that was a tough break. Ward Smith will go to the bench on this change. And now in behind the net to set it up. They'll move it along. Actually, Smith stays out there. My apologies as Wilson gets it in over the line. And now this one sent down the link. Finally, Ward Smith from Forest, Ontario, who was shaken up, goes to the bench for Plattsburgh State.
And Plattsburgh had a rough last 30 seconds. They were trying to get a wholesale change going, and they couldn't, so they were a little disjointed. Where they wanted to move the puck, whose stick they wanted it on, who was staying, and who was leaving.
Now Rolls works it on right wing, got it to the front, deflected that time. Good read there by Sean Dennis, but it's taken away. St. Norbert just killing off some time here as they'll flip it deep. Good flip in and good penalty kill there by St. Norbert as they hustle back and look to get a line change. Out of the zone it goes quickly. Ryan Corey back in over the Green Knight zone. He'll take it deep. Corey has it in behind the net. Now Corey gives it off there for Phil Farrow. Farrow to Corey. Rolls back out as a right point man. He gets the puck, but right back to Corey. Now here's a chance. In front, blocked away. Great block by a shot taken that time by Phil Farrow. Rolls has it again. Now Curry for Rolls. Rolls, wrist shot right on. Stop that time. Oh, and a save by Kyle Jones. Perfect positioning.
It's amazing. When Jones makes a save, he barely moves. He just gets in position, lets the puck come to him. He deadens it with his body, and then is able to keep it in front of him.
Back of the line, Curry. Rink wide, stopped again, Jones, as he robs a chance by Joey Wilson.
He is in such a groove right now, Jones is, but you can just see it by the way he's moving into saves. He is very confident in his timing as pucks are coming at him.
And this puck is played out of there by Boyd, and here he goes. He's going to chase it down to back out as Ward Smith. 25 seconds remaining in that all-you-can-eat major for Plattsburgh State. Ward Smith has it, got it back in over the line, got tripped up, puck right to the net. Hit a chance, stopped by Jones. Now played in behind the net. Great look that time in that last sequence by Andrew Willock. Now back of the line, Sato slides it across. Back out high, Willock has it. Now they look to set it up, Dylan Clark. Oh, good keep the line that time. Meanwhile, the penalty is over. So back out on the ice serving the major. That was Brad Herman. Comes in front, and that's blocked away by a stick. And out of the zone it goes, and here's Ryan Peterson. Peterson going to the net. Backhander. Stop. Rebound. Where is it? It never crossed the line. Oh, what a play in on goaltender Brian Hintz.
And now you got a little gong show going on behind the net. You're going to get a penalty on Plattsburgh State. And boy, has St. Norbert's grabbed control of the momentum of this game. And they can thank their goaltender and some good penalty killing. And then at the end of it, Peterson breaks in 5-on-5. There's the penalty. As he gets tripped up, he flies into the goaltender, Hintz, who makes a very good save here. But the penalty was called before that, and then you had a little fun at the end. Hintz holds his ground. The backhand shot, he takes away half the net, forces Peterson to go to the other half of it. We'll get a chance to ask Peterson about that when we talk to him between periods. But right now, a big moment in this game. Momentum seized by St. Norbert's.
Ward Smith goes, hooking the call. Ward Smith, if you recall, was the player injured just inside that left point area on that most recent Plattsburgh State power play. So Ward Smith is off, and it'll be a St. Norbert power play here in the final minute of this second period.
And they'll start, if they don't score, they'll start the third period with that man advantage, which is always nice when you can do that on fresh ice. So everything right now pointing towards the green and white. 2-0 lead, minute to go. And actually, Matty, 2 penalties called on the last play. So it's a 5-on-3 with a minute to go in period number 2.
Yeah, they also got Andrew Willock for a slash. And now an offensive zone faceoff for St. Norbert already with a 2-0 lead. They win the draw. Belanger has it. He'll slide it across. We are less than a minute remaining in the second period. Belanger has it. Looks around. Side of the net. Shane Wheeler with a pass that goes right through the crease. Keep an eye on 14 righties, the left point man with that great shot. Taviz got it in front, and Hintz makes the save, and we get a whistle.
Well, Hintz had to make a big save here as he came off the post, and he made that Hasek style stop. As he went back to the post, he retreated, puck comes down low, and then leads with his foot and does that little spread eagle across the front of the net. It's one of the plays of modern goaltending I actually really like, is when the goalies do that as opposed to using just a poke check.
Now they work it in front, pass it on the shot to Biz. Now he takes a shot, and it's stopped with the glove by Brian Hintz.
Well, Tabiz is certainly showing the instincts that he picked up playing forward for 2 years in Green Bay, the USHL, and as a 4.0 student, you can tell that he's got pretty good ability to pick up concepts when they're brought to him, and he's handling 2 positions well.
Belanger has it out high, 14 seconds to go in the period. Belanger looking around. Let's see if we see that wrist shot. There it is. Shot, glove, save, Hintz. Well, Belanger's got a great wrister from the point. He scored one of the 2 St. Norbert goals here in the second period with that wrister. Head coach Tim Coughlin talking about how he is all shot. Just a pure goal scorer with that great right-handed shot of his. He gets it right back again. 5 seconds to go. They'll pass on a shot, and here's a wrister that goes wide of the mark.
I just love the fact that he'll come out after the game or a period and he'll go to the coach and say, hey, I got a couple of things I think we should work on.
2-0 St. Norbert after 2 as they battle Plattsburgh State for the national championship in Division III. And joining us from St. Norbert, Ryan Peterson. Ryan, looks like you guys got that offense cranked up in the second period.
Yeah, obviously, second period all year has been our best period. We took advantage of that. We talked about it in between periods and came out and did the little things that we talked about, trying to take some low puck plays, try to get it to the net, and it worked out for us.
You know, the first 5 minutes of period is so important. You got a 5-on-3 to start period number 3, and how much of an advantage is that for you?
Oh, it's huge for us. We moved the puck there the last 20 seconds. We got some good looks, and we need to come out and take advantage of the opportunity that we have.
Here's the unique dynamic. You're 20 minutes away from a national championship, but you know as well as I do, that can be the longest 20 minutes of your life.
Absolutely. We worked hard this year to build the legs, and definitely we got to take advantage of that going into the third period, and we need to take care of business and come away with the national championship.
Ryan, thanks for doing this. Good luck in the third.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Ryan Peterson of St. Norbert. Don't go anywhere. Highlights and stats when we come back. Getting set for the third period of play, St. Norbert with a 2-0 lead over Plattsburgh, and a couple of goals in that second 20 minutes, Dave, as we take a look at the highlights. Both goals coming less than 5 minutes apart.
Now, the first one was a nice play as Pulak got himself in front of the net, got his stick free and available, and tip went home. That was 1-0. And then on the rush, Belanger, what a snipe. He's got 6 shots on goal in the game. That one finds Twine, and that made it 2-0. Kyle Jones has been really good in terms of keeping pucks in front of him and keeping rebounds wide. His composure has filled his team with confidence, as it has all season. St. Norbert's and the Green Knights playing to the script.
Quick look at the stats. Look at those power play numbers. St. Norbert 1 for 1, and they'll have a minute 15 left in a 5-on-3 as we head to this all-important third period of play. Boy, St. Norbert with a 2-goal lead, and now less than 20 minutes away from a national championship. We'll see what unfolds and see if that high-potented offense by Plattsburgh State can break through. But first, they're going to have to kill off the remainder of this 5-on-3. So the puck is played deep inside the Plattsburgh State zone.
The only advantage of 5-on-3 this early in the period is the ice is good, so pucks along the ice will get out quick.
In front, shot that time. Wheeler, his shot is blocked away, and the puck is sent out of the zone and down the length.
And I think it's a good thing that it did, because that shot was labeled, and it hit the back of Allen's leg. I think if it missed Allen's leg and continued going, I don't think that Hintz saw it, and that might have been a goal.
Yeah, we get an icing call here against St. Norbert. A big no-no when you're 2 up on the man advantage. Faceoff's going to come back inside the Green Knight zone. So Bob Emery's club gets a break. Yeah, what a draw here. You can kill some time with those 34 seconds remaining in that power play.
Emery, one of only 2 coaches that I can think of that actually wears the earpiece during the game. The other one is Kevin Snedden, and it's the same reason. Emery does the defense. He was a defenseman. He likes running the Ds. When he first started coaching, felt a little inexperienced. Him and Kevin Houle were running the team. Kevin Houle was a forward, and he was a defenseman. So he decided to stay with the Ds. He lets his assistant coach Moffat change the forwards, and he's the guy with the headset on.
10 seconds left. Tika has it out high, gives it off. Now shot of the net. Backhander. They try to go in front. Back to the line it goes. Tika, his shot ripped over the top of goaltender Brian Hintz.
Tika's got 6 power play goals, almost had another one.
Those penalties are over. Steven Sleep, and his shot curls up off a stick. Plattsburgh State has weathered it here. They get both of their players back, and they are back to full strength. And now the business at hand, getting some offense to get back into this one as the puck crosses the line, and the icing's been waved off.
Attainable pass, I believe, was the call on it. That's because the puck was within a stick blade of the player who was receiving it. Stick was on the ice, and the assistant referee is a linesman, and the referees can wave that off in a 2-1 system.
Ward Smith will dump one right back in. This one's cleared out of there. The Green Knights try to move it along, and here they come again as they'll curl at their own blue line. Rink-wide pass. Into the zone it goes. Belanger tries to get the feed, that time from Matt Boyd, and the puck is played in behind the net. Here comes Plattsburgh State. Don't forget, Plattsburgh, even though they trail 2-0, we are talking about a team, as we mentioned earlier, they've scored 5 or more goals in 15 games. They've gotten 6 or more in 10 games this season as we get a whistle on the offside. So still plenty to unfold here. And don't forget, get complete coverage of all NCAA championships at ncaa.com, the official site of college sports. St. Norbert brings it right back in over the line. A chance here blocked away. Good read there by Longley. Now another chance in front, covered up by Hintz.
That's an aggressive save by Hintz, and I like it, and it's an important save for Plattsburgh State because you're in a situation where the next goal could really be the backbreaker. That was a quick little turnover. Hintz got out pretty high to make that save because it was a bit of a broken play, and it developed so slowly. As you can see the play coming to the net. Look where Hintz is. He's way out. He knows that guys are tied up, nobody's behind him. He can get aggressive and gobble up a rebound, and that's good goaltending.
In behind the net, they'll move it along on right wing. Now down low it goes. And trying to get it out is Sean Dennis, and back comes Plattsburgh State. Nice left wing pass to center ice. Wilson, he'll give it off to Farrell. Now Farrell is shot right to the glove of Kyle Jones, who's so far throwing that shutout. He's done it 24 times during the course of this season, and we'll get a face-off.
A little different for St. Norbert's. Their championship games, they're used to being on the other side of shutouts as they've run into a Middlebury juggernaut in their 2 championship game appearances. But this is now bagels in 5 periods plus that Jones has posted here in Lake Placid.
Yeah, because yesterday they defeated Norwich 3-0 in the afternoon semifinal game. Boyd, Allen, and Sleep scoring the 3 goals in that one for St. Norbert. And back come the Cardinals of Plattsburgh State. Thompson trying to get around his man, lost an edge. This one goes right to the glove of goaltender Kyle Jones. I don't think he moved it in. She just kind of reached up and snared it to force a faceoff.
If I'm not mistaken, the last time we were in this building, we saw a goaltender pitch 6 periods of shutout hockey. Was that Jesse Vetter of Wisconsin last year, Women's Frozen Four?
Yeah, Jesse Vetter was just tremendous in this building as Wisconsin won the national championship a year ago here.
By the way, congratulations to the Plattsburgh State women's team who won the ladies Division III national championship yesterday.
They got another whistle. They're going to bring this faceoff coming outside the St. Norbert zone.
Good look a moment ago at Mike McCarroll, who can be one of those guys who can break this game open. He's a deceptive, offensively good player. His numbers are a little low. That's because he's such a dedicated two-way player. But McCarroll's got that ability to get himself open, and you give him a little ice, he can pull the string, make a move, and get himself to the net. That energy line, I think, is going to get a lot of ice here in period number 3.
Back at center ice, and this one's going to be taken away. A couple of players locking it up. Now here's Shane Wheeler. Wheeler over the line is shot glove by Hintz. And he holds on. Dave, you talked about Middlebury just moments ago. They have been a juggernaut at the Division III level. I mean, look at these years and these champions. 1997, they won it all. They did it again in 98. Seen a lot of that M and a lot of that navy blue. Championships galore for the school from Vermont.
I had a couple of kids that came off of those mid-90s teams play for me and make it in the Central Hockey League. Mike Anastasio and Martin Lachane. And the one thing about the the Middlebury kids, when they got to your program at the pro level, they were ready. They were very good defensively. Their instincts were smart. They were very disciplined, and they were excellent teammates. It was such a pleasure to have them around because you didn't have to assimilate them into pro. They were ready.
Now they work it down low, back to the front. Here's a chance, roll with a shot, and that's stopped again. Kyle Jones, stellar here today for the North Delta, British Columbia native.
He's just a simple kid, and there's no panic to him. And as one of the 2 seniors, he keeps it tight down low. Shot, he doesn't know where it is. It's underneath his pad, but doesn't know where it is. And he does 2 smart things. Number 1, he doesn't move. And number 2, he keeps the stick in front of his pads. So in case it's loose, anybody chopping at it's going to hit wood as opposed to possibly pucks or pads.
Into the corner it goes, and now St. Norbert will take it away. They get it outside the zone and right back to center. You know, St. Norbert head coach Tim Coughlin talked to us yesterday about there's no panic on this team. And he thinks it's all attributed to Kyle Jones, just his steadiness between the pipes, as this one's going to be wrapped around. A little bit strange when you've got not that many upperclassmen. I mean, St. Norbert's going to be good for a long time, as is Plattsburgh State, as this one's sent down the length.
And that's the reason that Coach Coughlin talks about how when he walks into the dressing room before games, he thinks that the room might not be as focused as he would like it to be, but it's because of the youth. It's because these guys haven't gone through the wars and grown up just yet. But Jones gives them the ability to be kids and be successful.
Power play unit out there right now for Plattsburgh State as they get it in behind the St. Norbert net. Now Ward Smith has it. Sends it across, looking to get it down low. Tom Breslin, and this one punched all the way back to the Plattsburgh State blue line.
Plattsburgh's mantra right now has got to be every shot's a good one. And they've got to get shots, they've got to keep low, they've got to get to the front of the net, and they've got to battle.
Here's a chance out high. Ward Smith waits. Now Ward Smith getting around a couple of players, got a weak one away. I think they're waiting a little too long with their shot attempts as Dylan Clark will set it up on right wing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get out of the game plan. It's been successful all year, but shooting and crashing has been something every player's been doing since they were 10 years old, and it's just got to continue.
This one goes right to the net. Bouncing puck, and it's cleared out of there by the Green Knights.
See, that's a good play. It was a quick shot. They had 2 guys in front, and that's important.
Now Tika has it, the defenseman for St. Norbert. He'll send it in behind the net. That penalty is over. So Plattsburgh State can't convert. It's been the story so far today, and really helps when you got a guy like Kyle Jones in there as well. Shane Wheeler, backhander, just wide of the glove of Brian Hintz.
Well, he can play for me anytime, this Wheeler kid. Holy smokes. He's small, but he's quick, active stick, and he can find space to make things happen.
He is small, 5'4", but he's one of those guys when you're playing pickup hockey at 11:30 at night.
You want him on your team.
He shows up and you're thinking, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
And then he goes out and scores about 6 or 7 on you.
Coughlin was funny yesterday when he talked about that. He said this kid was 137 pounds soaking wet. And we
never on the scale, did he?
That's right, because I never thought this kid was going to make our team, and what an impact on the program he's had.
Played right back in, and Vaccaro will set it up in behind the net. This game rolls on with 13:31 remaining in regulation time from Herb Brooks Arena at Olympic Center in Lake Placid. With Dave Starman, I'm Matt McConnell. Coming up on 6 o'clock in the East. That's 3 o'clock if you're viewing us, watching this game in Los Angeles. Somewhere on the West Coast. It's been a lot of fun here this weekend. The Division III Men's Ice Hockey Championships. As it's played in behind the net. Now taken away. Good takeaway that time. Good lead by Wilson. Puck is going to be wrapped around. And this one sent down the length where we will get an icing call. And a face-off. Plattsburgh, can they do it? They've got a high, potent offense. But right now in the third, they trail by 2. Back a couple of years, Dave, you and I remember this road trip, St. Norbert and Middlebury. This game played at Elmira, and what a day for Middlebury as they continue to have the number of St. Norbert winning the national championship by the final score of 3-0. You and I braving a whiteout.
We crossed 8 rivers, went through 2 blizzards.
Breslin to the front. Farrow, his shot blocked away by Stephen Sleep. Had some really greasy sausage biscuits in route as well as the puck is played right back in.
Speak for yourself on that one.
Always good to cross the Chemung River in central New York as the puck is played back. Tika. And now we get a penalty here, and it looks like Plattsburgh State's going to get another try on the power play. Tim Coughlin can't believe it.
And they've lived on it, and that has been one of their themes all year long. We've lived on timely goals and big saves, and our power play has been huge, and they need this power play, which offered on a 5-minute major, to come up big. And here's the slash right here. And Plattsburgh State, who is starting to run out of opportunities, will get one right now. What they were able to do on that last one, they did get some shots through from the point. They did get a little traffic in front. Cycling on the power play is not something that they're adverse to doing, but the bottom line now is with 12.5 to go, they've got to get shots.
In behind the net, let's see if they try to funnel towards the net a little more here as Farrell will bring it in on left wing. Farrell has it, cuts right to the middle of the ice. Now Farrell gets some help as he sets it up in the right wing corner. They're very patient, are the Cardinals of Plattsburgh State, as Farrell will work it on right wing.
They're also out on the perimeter. They're a little far from the net.
Curry has it, trying to go towards the net. Curry fumbling around with the puck a little bit there. He lost his stick, and it's cleared out of there. Boy, if you're St. Norbert, don't change a thing. Here's a chance, Farrell. They work it to the front. Shot stopped that time, Jones. And that's the look they wanted. They got it, but Kyle Jones was terrific.
Well, Jones has been real good throughout the entire course of this game, mostly because of his positioning and his composure. You take a look at the saves he's making. They're not flashy. They're not highlight reel saves. What they are good, solid stops by being in the right place. Being in the right place at the right time is a skill for goaltenders, and he has been square to the puck all night long.
Breslin will dump deep. Into the corner it goes, and down low, Eric Sadum will play it behind the net for Dylan Clark. Sadum has it on right wing, back out high for Breslin. Sadum looking around, nobody coming down low as this shot, a weak one, bounces off Tika. Now to the front again, a chance, and that's knocked away. Oh, great front net presence that time by St. Norbert. Defensively, they had it all figured out. And we're wondering where those goals are going to come from. Plattsburgh third in the NCAA, just under 5 a game. As the puck is played away and sent down by the Green Knights.
The only criticism I have of Plattsburgh's power play right now is just in this big rink. They've been on the perimeter a little bit much. You want to be on the perimeter on an 85-foot wide rink.
Sadum's shot got through. That's blocked away by Jones.
So that's one thing, because you can get to the net a little quicker here. That extra 7.5 feet might be 1 second, 1.5 seconds to move the puck into the position you want it in, and by that time you're laying it, that's probably gone.
Into the corner it goes. Ryan Peterson killing off the remaining seconds in this Plattsburgh State power play. And they're almost set up in like a Dean Smith 4 corners here are the Green Knights of St. Norbert. Puck played out of the zone. Stu will bring it back, and he dumps it right back in. So Plattsburgh State has their power play evaporate. Time is out. And St. Norbert back to full strength as it's played right back to center. but Carl lost it, and Shane Wheeler will send it right back in. If you're St. Norbert, Dave, with 10 and change remaining, I guess you just try to cross that center line and get it deep.
No, here's where I disagree. You play for the next goal, because anytime you get into that mode of protecting a lead, you get mentally lazy, and your intensity can wane.
Back of the line, Knopper, his shot, a blast over the top of the net.
If you're St. Norbert, you play this game like it's nothing.
Now back out high in front, knocked away, and right back to center ice, C.J. Tozo. Tozo trying to go wide on Knopper that time. And now Longley will get it right back on a direction that's set into the right wing corner. Changes on for St. Norbert quickly through center. This one's going to go down the length, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. So far, St. Norbert with a pair in the second, and they're on their way to the title. Can they hold on? Well, you go back to 2007, this Division III national championship between Middlebury and Oswego State. Oswego had something on Middlebury in this one, Dave.
Yeah, they got great goaltending. They got timely goals. They were good in front of their own net, and you know, it's not often they say Middlebury loses the national title game. They did in this occasion, as Oswego powered its way to a very convincing 4-3 overtime win.
And again, Middlebury factoring into the championship. Boy, they have just been tremendous as a hockey program. Not winning it last year, though, as this one sent right to the crease, and Brian Hintz, who's been very good here today as well, makes the save and gets a face-off.
When you take a look at the goals that Hintz gave up, that first one, the Pulak tip, was a great tip. I just didn't like how deep Hintz was on the play, but I thought the tip was tremendous. And that second goal, that's a goal scorer's goal. That Belanger scored high glove side.
Plattsburgh State will try it on left wing and right back through the center of the ice. This one's tipped along, and the puck is sent down, and we get a whistle and an icing call. Been talking a little bit as of late about the history of the Division III tournament, and since 2001, there's that name again, Middlebury. Oswego, along with Norwich, UW Superior, and Plattsburgh, also playing into that graphic since 2000.
You know the one thing I'm noticing, Matt, on that graphic? A lot of Eastern teams winning national titles. In the Division I level, the West, especially the WCHA, has had some dominance, and last year Michigan State out of the CCHA winning, but on the D3 level, a lot of the Eastern teams have found their way to a national title.
And St. Norbert trying to bring the title to the Midwest. They're located in De Pere, Wisconsin, just outside Green Bay.
And a very good relationship with two other good hockey programs out there, the Green Bay Gamblers of the USHL and the University of Wisconsin of the WCHA. They, just through coaches changing places, a guy like Marco Siki, who was at Green Bay and is now at Wisconsin, and the friendship that he has with Tim Coughlin, my apologies. And you know, when you take a look at the coaches that are there and how they work together, they have really promoted hockey in that area.
Dave, from the Division I to the Division III level, take us through, if fans aren't all that familiar, with the similarities and the differences.
Well, the game's the same. Where you find some differences is maybe the average Division III player may be a little smaller than the D1 player. You want to look at skills. I mean, a Nathan Gerby is almost the size of the Wheeler kid. You know, they're short and you know, not very big physically, but you look at Gerby with all-world skills, and he does everything in fifth gear, whereas a kid like Wheeler at that level may not be able to compete in fifth gear. So it's a fine line between speed, a little bit of skill, maybe some hockey sense, and age factors.
Here's a chance on a rebound, and that's sent over the top of the net. Good look by Brandon Longley, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage. Well, we've been talking about how great it is to be at Lake Placid, be sitting up where Al Michaels and Ken Dryden sat 28 years ago. Here's where it's been over the last 5 years. A couple of times in Northfield, Vermont, once in Middlebury last year, up in Superior, Wisconsin. That big tournament won by Oswego State over Middlebury a year ago. And it's great to be here as Bernardi will take a shot, and that one caroms off a couple of sticks. And bodies as Wilson will jam it along back at center for Plattsburgh State, wearing that road red here today. And in behind the net, they'll set it up. Under 8 minutes remaining now. 2-0 St. Norbert. A couple of goals in that second period. One from Scott Pulak and the other from Mark Belanger. And it goes down the length of the ice where they wave off icing, and it's played in behind.
Now, I'm wondering if he touched the puck with his stick. I'm talking about the Plattsburgh player, because if he didn't, that's not the attainable pass rule. You can't be on your backhand for an attainable pass to be in effect.
Now it's turned the other way, and here they come. Into the zone it goes to Biz. He'll drop it out high, but a good play that time. Ward Smith stepping right into the player to break up the play. In behind the net, Ryan Burke trying to move it along.
Well, I'll tell you, St. Norbert's has done a very good job, I think, of eliminating Plattsburgh's defense from being active. I thought that Smith and Corey and Rolls were very good yesterday, but they haven't been as big a factor in today's game, and St. Norbert's forwards have a lot to do with that.
Played around and down low. Smith, he'll move it there as Plattsburgh State tries to get some offense going. 3 players along the boards. Now Burke can't keep it at the right point, and it goes down the length of the ice. The Cardinals need offense. They trail it 2-0. We continue to monitor the clock. We are under 7 minutes remaining in regulation. To the front, and it's stopped. Oh, maybe the save of the game by Brian Hintz.
Yeah, that was lights out if that went in.
Right at the doorstep of the right post, and Hintz saves the day. So Plattsburgh State will bring it out of the zone, and they flip it right back to center. Lead pass that time intended for Eric Sadum. And this one dumped right back in. In behind the net, trying to move it along, Nick Rolls. Now a bouncing puck is taken away, and Plattsburgh looks to move it quickly up through center ice. This one past the Smith, and so we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. If you've never been to Lake Placid, make sure you see this place. It is absolutely gorgeous on a picturesque weekend in upstate New York. Live look-ins and in-game highlights of the NCAA men's basketball tournament only on CBS College Sports.
Well, Hintz has been competitive batting this entire game, and he makes a good one here as he gets off the post nice and quick. Good glove save, and keeps it 2-0. He has made some big stops in this game to give his team a chance to win.
Knopper sends in behind the net. This one's cut off by Nick Vaccaro. You said Vaccaro would be heard from. He was one of the players you were ISOing on, and so we'll see if he can get something going here in the final 6 minutes of this third period of play.
He hasn't had the same giddy-up through the neutral zone that he had last night, and I just think it's because St. Norbert's a little bit of a tighter checking team than Elmira is. He's had a couple of opportunities and flashes of brilliance, but getting into the zone for him has been a challenge.
Into the corner, Tabiz will take it away for St. Norbert, wraps it around near boards, and the puck is cleared all the way back to center ice. Rolls has it for Plattsburgh State. Gets it back in. Tozo is there. He intercepts the team captain for the Cardinals. Will dump it deep. But Knopper is there, and he'll play it in behind the net for Tabiz. Time really a factor now. 5:15 remaining in regulation here in the third period of play. In a 2-0 St. Norbert lead for the national championship of men's hockey Division III. Now behind the net one more time. They look to set it up. This one's going to be taken away. And out of the zone it comes. Right back to center ice. C.J. Tozo. And he'll go rink wide into the right wing corner. Down low trying to knife it free. John Skoog. And it's cleared back out to center ice.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting watching Jones, the St. Norbert's goaltender, in the skills competition with the Frozen Four. He's been chosen to participate in it, and watching him go up against some of the elite Division I players should be a treat.
Puck is played in behind the net. Now Tabiz brings it around, and the question mark remains, can St. Norbert continue to play this up and down game and just kill clock? We are down to 4:22. Back to center ice, and I will tell you this, if St. Norbert does hold on, no doubt Kyle Jones, the MVP, you got to give it to him, right?
Say, listen, 6 goose eggs in 6 periods in the Frozen Four of Division III, that's big stuff. And it's not
how appropriate
teams.
How appropriate, plenty of eggs on Easter Sunday.
And a happy Easter to you and your family there, Mr. McConnell.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Starman, as the puck is played into the corner. Always great to work the holiday weekend with you, and we've had another great season of NCAA college hockey. Too bad it's coming to an end, but won a game here today. 2-0 St. Norbert. Question now is, can Plattsburgh State get a goal and get this thing tied, or at least get it cut in half to pull the goaltender to get it tied? As the puck is played out of the zone and right back to center. You get one, and then everything changes. Here's Farrell. Farrell will bring it in. Tries to go wide. Farrell holding out him. He got drilled to the end boards, and he's slow to get up. And back it comes. We'll keep our eye on goaltender Brian Hintz. Going wide that time. No penalty called as Breslin will chase it down in behind the net, but it's taken away. Good down low presence that time by the Green Knights of St. Norbert. Puck is played out of there, right back to center ice, and moving it along are the Cardinals as they'll get it inside the zone. But now we get a whistle and a puck played with a high stick. And as we go to 3 minutes remaining, Dave, if you're on that St. Norbert bench, you're thinking it, are you not?
You are, but you're not. Here's the thing. It's in the back of everybody's mind, but if you start to let it creep a little bit far forward, then you're not focusing on what you have to do next. And what do you have to do next? You need to have a good shift. And what do you do on a good shift? On a good shift, you're chipping pucks off the glass. You're making sure you're not turning pucks over at the line. If you get to the red line, you're making sure you get it in. Plattsburgh has called their timeout. They've got an offensive zone draw, so it's a good time for them to use it because they can get something set up off the faceoff. Now, what did you and I talk about earlier in the game? I
don't know, lots of stuff, but what's on your mind?
How Plattsburgh State is on faceoffs. It's not a situation that they feel very strong in. They just haven't done a great job with it all year long. Now they've got an offensive zone draw, and they're going to need to rely on possession. But do you pull a lost draw play here? Do you intentionally lose it so you can pursue in the corner with an extra attacker? Or do you try to play it straight and get it back to your defense? And that's what they're talking about now.
And it all unfolds right now as we have a look at our AT&T game summary. And Dave, it's been a lot of fun here in Lake Placid.
It certainly has. Belanger got a terrific goal and a great wrist shot. Jones for St. Norbert has 26 stops, and he has been very good over 2 games. And special teams have made a difference. It's been lights out for St. Norbert's on their PK, and their power play has got a huge goal in this game.
That was our AT&T game summary. Face off inside the St. Norbert zone. In case you're wondering, Plattsburgh goaltender Brian Hintz is still between the pipes.
Well, they win the draw too. Good play.
And Tozo had a shot that caromed off a defender, and the puck is played right back to center. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the third period of play, and St. Norbert holding on to a lead. Meanwhile, Hintz to the bench. So the extra attacker out for Plattsburgh State. Back to the line, Ward Smith. He'll man the left point. Extra attacker out. Plattsburgh trying to get on the board. Clark has it. Back to Ward Smith. Now Curry into the corner. Tabiz tries to get it out. Good keep by Curry. Right wing side. Tozo got hammered. Puck played in behind the net. They still battle away for it. Napa, the only St. Norbert player. He's just trying to kill off some clock. Here's a shot. Smith and a save that time by Kyle Jones.
And Jones wasn't even really squared up very well. He still made the save. When you're good, you're lucky, and vice versa, and he's been both.
Into the corner, and now this shot is stopped by Kyle Jones. Great curl in the right wing circle. Jones, though, better.
And that's what Plattsburgh State has lived on this year, is coming off those plays out of the corner and having a chance to get to the front of the net. They win a battle from behind. They get a little bit of a screen set up. Jones holds his ground, and that high shot lands up on by the shoulder. Jones is a big kid, so he can sit back that extra half a foot.
Willock got one in front. That slid right through. Tika tries to get it out. Can't do it for St. Norbert. Smith in behind the net. Empty net down to our right. Puck side of the net. Jones trying to get a piece of it. They're battling for it. 4 players down low. Breslin is there. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Can Plattsburgh State get some offense and get it tied? Puck played out of there and sent down the length of the ice, where the puck will cross, and we'll get an icing call here. Oh, Breslin that time selling it well. Or excuse me, Nick Rolls. And so the faceoff will come right back inside the St. Norbert zone. Don't forget NCAA March Madness Central, powered by the first ever Pontiac G8, picks up again immediately following our game. Only on CBS College Sports. We'll get you updated on that men's basketball tournament as teams continue to fall by the wayside all weekend long. Meanwhile, a minute and a half to go, and in behind the net, Plattsburgh will bring it around to the near side. Ward Smith with it. Gets it down low. Behind the net, Dylan Clark. Also there is Eric Sadum in front, and that bounced through the crease. Boy, Plattsburgh bringing it now. Sadum has it. Right wing circle. Thrown to the front. A chance. Jones stopped that as well, and the net comes off. And now we'll get a whistle. The question is, will the faceoff come inside or out?
And before St. Norbert's gets a chance to change, they'll get this all set up. Nice job by the officials to keep order on the ice, and Jones is once again able to keep pucks in front of him. I have a feeling this faceoff is going to come outside because of the contact of the goaltender. And look at the shutout streak that Jones has going on right now. 159 minutes, 22 seconds, and it's not like he's blessed with a shutdown defense. I mean, there are nights where he's made 22 grade A saves just to get a game to overtime. So he has certainly, quote-unquote, earned his money as the money goaltender here at St. Norbert's.
Well, St. Norbert ices the puck once again, and the faceoff's going to come to the left of goaltender Kyle Jones. 24 shutouts all time. Will he do it again here today in grand fashion?
What a way to end your career, too, with back-to-back shutouts if it stays in the national title tournament.
Ward Smith got it towards the net. Don't forget, empty net as we go under a minute remaining in this third period of play. Necked out of there on a backhander sent by Matt Boyd. So in behind the net. It'll be played along. Wilson has it. 48 seconds to go. Back to center ice. Into the zone. Knocked away. Oh, great play by Belanger, and that'll force Plattsburgh State back in. Boy, they're going to have to get the puck up the ice in a hurry.
More importantly, yeah, Matty, it cost them about 12 seconds.
Now out of the zone, right back to center ice. 30 seconds remaining. Played right back in, deep, giving chase. Tozo now for Plattsburgh State. Taken away that time, and a good read by John Skoog, and the puck is played out.
Great college career coming to an end for C.J. Tozo. He's been a warrior on two teams.
Played right back. Thrown towards the front, blocked away. 10 seconds to go. Plattsburgh State, they'll have one more rush. It's not going to matter as they bring it in over the line. Titletown can add another trophy to its case. Congratulations to St. Norbert, 2008 national champions.
Well, congratulations to St. Norbert's after two trips to the national championship game in which they didn't score a goal. In convincing fashion, they take out Plattsburgh State. Plattsburgh State played well, but I think that St. Norbert's took them out of their game a little bit by preventing them from getting to the net and cycling and generating offense the way that they should. The hardware is in hand, and another national champion and a first-time national champion crowned.
So St. Norbert, congratulations to the Green Knights. They come to Lake Placid, and they take the big block of Cherrywood back to Green Bay. Don't go anywhere. Back to wrap it up after this. Historic Lake Placid, and the championship goes to the #1 seed Green Knights of St. Norbert, 2-0. Kyle Jones' 25th shutout all time. What a day for the Green Knights against a very tough Plattsburgh State Cardinals team. Let's take a look back. The goaltending in this one, tremendous here, Dave.
You know, we won't be breaking any ground by saying that big-time goaltending wins titles, and Kyle Jones, over the course of two games, did it first against Norwich yesterday, and then again today against Plattsburgh State. He has held the fort all year long. He has been great early, which has allowed St. Norbert's to be great late. And if you look at them throughout the course of the year and you go through the box scores, you see that this is a team that got better as games went on. And the reason that it did was because of their goaltender, who held them in early and let them get their bearings.
Well, Kyle Jones was absolutely tremendous as both teams are down, and they're making the celebration and the handing out of the medals. Final stats in this one, Plattsburgh actually outshooting St. Norbert. But again, the story, the goaltending of Jones and that two-man power play that Plattsburgh State could not convert on earlier in the game.
Let me even further that for you. You want to talk about story of the game, look at the power plays. Plattsburgh State's had a great power play all year, and they went with a goose egg for 5 on it. St. Norbert's had 3 opportunities. They scored a key power play goal to make it 2-0. So the bottom line was Bob Emery was worried about special teams of his opponent, St. Norbert's, and his fears turned out to be the case, as that's where St. Norbert's won this game.
Dave, we talked a lot today about Kyle Jones, but great goaltending typically has a great defense in front of it as well.
It certainly did, and his defense was very good at keeping Plattsburgh State on the perimeter, limiting second chances. And I thought limiting of the second chances was a key factor. A guy like Dylan Clark is so good at getting pucks to the net and getting second chances, and he couldn't get any today. And just a big-time effort by Coach Coughlin and his team here on a Sunday afternoon in Lake Placid.
Tim Coughlin held the trophy, and then he gave it away. He said, not me, this is you. And he handed it off to his team.
And that's what it's all about. It's about the players. Coaches can organize things and recruit and put game plans together and motivate and be a mentor to the players. But the bottom line is the guys with the skates got to go get it done.
Well, Dave, it's been another great season with your partner. I've had an enjoyable time as we've gone coast to coast, and hope you have a great summer as we say goodbye to CSTV and move on to CBS College Sports. But again, thanks for everything.
It's been awesome, and for CSTV, we've been from Fairbanks, Alaska to Estero, Florida doing games. And it's been a wild ride, and look forward to continuing it in the future.
What a day. Our final score, St. Norbert 2, Plattsburgh State 0 for our coordinating producer and producer of today's game, Ross Malloy, our director, Sean Jensen, associate director, Andy Costco, broadcast associate, Keon Dolat-Shahi, my partner, Dave Starman, and our entire CBS College Sports Network crew. I'm Matt McConnell. For the latest news, scores, highlights, and analysis, log on to CBSSports.com. This has been a presentation of CBS College Sports, the new pulse of college sports. So long from the Olympic Center in Lake Placid. Thanks for watching this hockey event, and thanks for watching all season long. Now we send you to March Madness Central, powered by Pontiac G8 in New York. Take it away, guys.